Hey everyone, welcome back to the NF. The draft is officially over. Congrats to every athlete that put their name forward. It's a huge blessing to be able to put your name forward. Whether you got picked, whether you didn't get even invited to the combine, it doesn't matter. Um, the moment will come for everyone. You got to take advantage of what you get on the field, the reps, the snaps, and just show the coaches what you got. Um, you know, whether you were number one overall, or whether you're Mr. Relevant, it really doesn't matter. You just gotta take advantage of everything you got
Mhm.
and just get the work in. So in
Yep.
this video, we just wanted to talk about, the winners and losers of the draft. Our immediate reactions. How the draft played out. And yeah, we'll get right into it.
We got four teams on each side. Four teams we thought were winners of this draft, and four team that we thought were losers of this draft. So we'll start off with the winners.
So the first winner is obviously Arizona.
I have Baltimore as my second winner.
I have New Orleans as my third.
As my fourth, we have Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, so we're gonna go into depth, only the two of the teams. So I'm gonna talk about Arizona,
I'll
and
talk
Frank, if
about
you want to
Baltimore.
start us off with Baltimore. So the most notable picks they've had, their first round selection in LSU linebacker Patrick Queen. They got J.K. Dobbins out of Ohio State in the second round, big steal. Another notable pick, they got Devin Duvernay. They got
Mhm.
Justin Madubuike out of A&M.
Mhm.
And one of the biggest steals they got was James Prochet out of SMU, a great receiver, very underrated.
So listen, we'll start off with the first round selection. Patrick Queen out of LSU. He's a linebacker. They got him with pick number 28. Really, this guy's a playmaker. I had him going a little lower than that, maybe 15 to 20. 28's a big steal. He's a playmaker. He's really a ball hawking guy. He will get where the ball is. He has a lot of speed and he's really explosive. So second off, we'll talk about J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins, running back out of Ohio State, just got 2,000-yard seasons with the Buckeyes. He's really a workhorse, but people maybe underrate him for his running game and a little because of his size. But yeah, he's really dynamic playmaker. And lastly, so we'll end with Devin Duvernay. Devin Duvernay, wide receiver out of the Longhorns. Let's go Texas. He was a third round selection with pick number 92. He's if I had to compare him one player on the same team, he'd be Marquise Brown. He's really a speedster. He's the big play guy. He's really dangerous with the ball. Yeah, and he's a former high school track star.
Yeah, Devin Duvernay is actually related to Kyler Murray. Fun fact. The second winner we're going to go in depth about is Arizona. So Arizona had a very good draft. They got Isaiah Simmons, probably the best athlete in the entire draft. He had an incredible combine. And Max Joseph is going to have a great time incorporating him into their defensive scheme. Whether they're going to play 4-4, whether they're only going to have three backers, whether they're going to go to the 4-3 or 3-4, doesn't matter. Isaiah Simmons will always be that wild card who will move around the field. He could cover tight ends and receivers very well. He has no problem fitting into Arizona. And any opposing team, is definitely going to look out for him because Isaiah Simmons is all over the field.
When Isaiah Simmons was asked what position he played at the combine, he quickly responded, "I just play defense." It's a funny thing. He's very versatile, plays all over the field.
Another great pick they had was Josh Jones out of Houston. In our mock draft, in our DNF mock draft, Frankie had Josh Jones going 14th overall to Jacksonville with the trade with the Buccaneers. However, he slid all the way to the third round. Interesting selection, but I think he has a lot of talent. The offensive line class is very deep, so props to Arizona for getting him. They also got Eno Benjamin out of ASU, so he's coming back home. Incredible running back. I think he almost got 1,700 yards total in rushing. So he's definitely a capable runner. He has some records at ASU, so expect him to compete with Kenyon Drake for some snaps.
Yeah. But Dylan, I just have a question for you. Um, we know people were maybe projecting Isaiah Simmons going fourth overall to the Giants. Yeah, my brother is a Giants fan. He was disappointed, but they picked a tackle out of Georgia, Andrew Thomas, and then the picks just went on. And when number 7 came along, Carolina went to take Derek Brown, which is a little surprising knowing that Isaiah Simmons was there. When you saw Arizona, and we know that maybe Tristan Wirfs was a guy to go there in our mock drafts. What did you think of that? Isaiah Simmons or maybe an O-line?
I thought that was a great selection by Arizona. I think all the signs are pointing to them taking Isaiah Simmons. Way too talented of a prospect to draft. Coaches are going to have such a fun time just, slotting him in there. He could play backer. He could even, edge rush, pass rush, run stop, cover. He could do anything. I don't think there's one thing he can't do on the defensive side of the ball. Especially with Arizona, their defense has been a bit lackluster in Kyler Murray's rookie season. And I feel like, now that they've invested a lot in their offense, by targeting, DeAndre Hopkins, making a huge trade for him, I think, everyone's going to be looking at Arizona as the team to beat. So now you just got to work with the defensive side of the ball. Yes, they have Chandler Jones, Jordan Hicks, as well as, Buda Baker. But Isaiah Simmons is a freak of nature. Pairing him up alongside all those great backers, especially also the defensive backs and Patrick Peterson and Byron Murphy. Arizona's defense is
gonna be special.
Yeah, exactly. One tough to get pie. We wanted to move on to our biggest losers in this year's draft. So we're gonna start off by just talking about the 4 losers we find just didn't have the best draft. And then we're going to go into depth with 2 of those teams. So
First I had Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, I had the Green Bay Packers.
I had the New England Patriots.
And then my final team was the Chicago Bears.
Patriots had not a very busy draft. We all know by now that Tom Brady left. Boo-hoo, so sad. They had the 23rd overall selection in the first round. Some people thought maybe they'd take a quarterback with this, or maybe the best player available. No, we got a surprise, traded it to the LA Chargers, and from there on, it really slid. I personally thought that with the 23rd, they were going to select a player, especially when we saw 22 came along and passed. Jordan Love wasn't selected. Yeah, I know he went to Green Bay, but he could have been maybe New England's guy for the next maybe 3 years, sit maybe 1 year behind Stidham, but didn't happen. They trade away. And then we saw that with their second round selection, the 37th overall, I don't mean no disrespect. They got at the 37th, they got a guy named Kyle Duggar. He's a safety from Lenoir Rhyme, which I have no clue what that is.
Division 2 school for all you people wondering.
We all know they have Devin McCourty. Don't understand. Must have been a cramp. We all saw that video where Bill Belichick, his dog was sitting at his seat with the computer. Maybe his dog made the pick, but
yeah, honestly,
it's crazy. And we all know that Philly, there was a couple quarterbacks left, like Jake Fromm and Jalen Hurts, who maybe was not a first rounder, but maybe a second, who finally got picked by Philly at 53. Really a brain scratcher there. really thought New England would get maybe Jalen Hurts for the future. Would have been real nice in New England, but they got Kyle Duggar.
So moving on to Green Bay. So I'm a very big Packers fan, and you know what? The draft did absolutely nothing to make me like the team more. If anything, it made me want to root for other teams. My live reaction when I saw that the Packers traded up with the Dolphins at 26, as soon as I saw Jordan Love off the board, I went to my room and I just had the hardest time going to bed. I was dreaming about Jordan Love. I woke up Jordan Love, and my brain has just I think I've lost brain cells. That's nothing against Jordan Love. Jordan Love's a great quarterback. I feel like he has a lot of high potential. But you know what? I'm not even gonna say it now. I'm just gonna go with the other picks before I just lose my mind. So in the second round, day two, Aaron Jones led the league in touchdowns, and what do? They draft AJ Dillon, another running back out of Boston College. Just totally throwing everything that Aaron Jones did. Running the trash. Um, and AJ Dillon's a great running back. Don't get me wrong. But they said that he was a good receiver. This guy had 13 catches and 195 yards and one total touchdown. And they said he was a good receiver. So whatever the general manager's name, I don't even know his name anymore. He's just not the brightest tool in the sharpest tool in the shed. They ended up getting in the third round. They got a tight end. The 18th ranked tight end. They got him in the third round. He was projected to go in the sixth round. He was probably going to go undrafted. Literally the best tight end in the nation. Harrison Bryant was still available. Adam Toutman, whatever the guy's name was, he was available at Dayton, over 1,000 yards. This guy that we got here got like 500 yards in the season. Bad move. I lost sleep over that. But the general manager of the Green Bay Packers is probably the biggest meme on Twitter right now. I'm going on Instagram. I'm going on all these social media apps, and I just keep seeing Green Bay Packer memes. And you know what? They kind of did it to themselves. Coming off of an NFC Championship berth, they were one game away from the Super Bowl. What were their two biggest needs that they had? What were the two biggest problems they had? They didn't have a vertical threat alongside Devontae Adams, and they couldn't stop the run. Clearly, Devontae Adams, had a hard time trying to carry the load because there were no other receivers. So what do? Well, they don't get a receiver. There were so many other things they could have done in the draft. They could have drafted Denzel Mims. They could have got Zach Bond. Address their biggest needs now. Because you know what? Every general manager is talking about how you're supposed to draft best available. But not only did they not even get the best available, but they didn't even get their needs. So they basically just wasted picks. They wanted to invest in the run game. What's the biggest factor in having a good run game? A good O-line. Do the Packers have a good O-line? They just left Brian Bulaga, just went to the Chargers, 3-year, whatever. He got a pack there. And they got Rick Wagner. Clear downgrade. So what do? Maybe invest in O-line this draft. It's not a huge need, but if you want to fortify your run game, what do? Go out and get the O-line. Make sure your O-line is good enough so that you can actually attack the edges, attack up the middle, whatever you want to do. So Aaron Rodgers, probably my favorite player in the whole league. I love the guy to death. Huge fan. I went to a game at MetLife, best time of my life. Looked like he waved back at me. I don't know if he did. But, Aaron, if you're ever watching this video, man, huge supporter. I love Aaron Rodgers to death. The guy has taken the situation like a champ. This guy has openly said it would be kind of cool to get a skilled player, even if it wasn't the one they expected. But you know what? He's imposed the fact, he wants to finish his career in Green Bay. Tom Brady didn't want to finish his career in New England. Philip Rivers did not want to finish his career in LA. But Aaron Rodgers openly said that he wanted to end his career in Green Bay. You can see right now, players like Tom Brady, Philip Rivers, and Drew Brees, right? They're nearing the end of their careers. Aaron Rodgers is kind of as well. So what have those teams done? They've built around him, make sure, they're making that last push to make the Super Bowl, investing all around the quarterback. But Green Bay, what have they done? They've invested in literally the future when Aaron Rodgers is retired and when Green Bay is out of the picture. Because Aaron Rodgers should be surrounded with talent. And they have failed, for 10 years now, over 15 years. They have failed to surround him with clear talent besides Devontae Adams, who was a second-round pick, who, great receiver, but besides him, there was no one else that they surrounded, him. That was actually well. And it wasn't that the picks that they've had were bad, but it's just they don't need them right now. They want, you want impact players right now. They didn't do much in free agency besides, signing Devin Funchess and Christian Kirksey.
So it basically wraps it up. Are you still a Packers fan, my guy?
I'll try my hardest, man. I love cheese. Cheesehead for life.
And yo, congrats. We're from Montreal.
Exactly.
Canada, I just want to shout out Chase Claypool. Got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And bro, I just want to shout out my god, Montreal University, Marc-Antoine Dequoy. Signed a contract with the Green Bay Packers, bro.
Represent the Super Bowl. What can I say?
Represent the city out there. We're big fans, bro.
Shout out to JJ Molson, who went to both mine and Frankie's school. He's an alumni. He just recently, he went undrafted, but he's a very good kicker. Honestly, any team would be lucky to have him. I would suggest taking a chance on him.
Thank you guys for watching.
Like and subscribe and turn post notifications on. And other than that, we'll see you next time.
When they say I'm falling, but they be calling when they see me balling. Pass me the rock, man, I feel like I'm spouting. These niggas foul with the rep, do not call it. I've been in the foreigns, you can't even start it. I want a big body, you can't even park it. I'ma go dumb out regardless, cause mama always told me, boy, finish what you started.